What up, world? Welcome to the episode 108 of the Blunt Talk Sports Podcast, NBA play-in tournament and NBA playoff preview. I am your host, Anthony Wright, coming to you from the beautiful and comfortable confines of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Wherever you may be watching or listening, I thank you as always. Like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. You can check the Blunt Talk Sports Podcast out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Substack, Patreon, Trovo, and as well as on Podbean. Looking to get out this weekend, looking to take your spouse out, have a great time with some friends, then look no further than the number one leading ticket seller and reseller in the world, StubHub. Number one seller in the world for live events, tickets, shows, and concerts, StubHub. Thankful as always, guys, for you guys plugging in and watching and staying, plugged in with the show. Thank you as always. If you also want to make sure, I want to give a shout out to some of the friends of the show. If you get an opportunity, guys, definitely check within the links to the descriptions. I have a link now to PlayStation Direct US. So if you're looking to grab yourself a PlayStation 5, we're looking to check out some of the bundle packages or some of the offers that PlayStation has. Definitely check that out. Getting into this episode, guys, so this episode is going to be dedicated to the NBA strictly. This is going to be talking about the play-in games, the games from Sunday, which was games 82 end of the season. The play-in games is going to be taking place tomorrow, which is going to be Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, which is going to be crazy. And then the playoffs, which will start the very end of the week going into next week. Completely happy that the season's now come to this point. I was very bored with the NBA up until this point. I was kind of hoping that we got to a point where, the games started getting exciting. And for the last month and a half, the games have meant something. So the Eastern Conference was pretty much sewn up. It was the West that we were all waiting on, and the West is a mess. I mean, when I say that, I say that not disparagingly, but just wholeheartedly. Like, all the teams are good. Even the bottom half teams that have struggled, my Sacramento Kings included. All these teams have been fighting and scrapping all year long to stay alive in the West. It's just been a crazy battle all year. But recapping some of the games, the first thing we definitely want to touch on is the Warriors game. Now, the Warriors played a tough game against the Clippers. As y'all can see in some of the shots here, very great game. It was very nostalgic for me. It almost felt like it was a game from 5, maybe 7 years ago, where you got prime James Harden, prime Kawhi Leonard, and prime Steph Curry all playing at a high level. It was amazing to see. It was a great basketball game. The only thing that I did not like towards the end, I thought the Warriors are kind of inefficient with their ball movement. Got to give it to the Clippers, though, too. The Clippers have had a hell of a season. They were able to win the game 124 to 119. But most importantly, the Clippers have kind of flown under the radar through most of the year. James Harden has had an outstanding season after the debacle that he had in Philadelphia a year ago. So this is amazing to see. But they pretty much won their matchup. So by de facto, by the Clippers winning, the Clippers will, in the first round, play the Nuggets. So for the Golden State Warriors, what this means is they will have to play the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, why would they have to play the Grizzlies? Now, Sunday, the Grizzlies had to play as well. It's been well documented, just fired their coach a couple weeks ago. Season's been in turmoil for pretty much the whole second half of the season. Hasn't been anything that they've been shooting for. They haven't really beaten any good teams of any kind or worth their damn grain of salt all season. So it's been rough for Memphis, but they were able to beat the Mavericks 132 to 97. Dominant fashion to pretty much seal that win and get that game sealed up to be in the play-in tournament, which again is a joke within itself when you realize that they were the 4th seed a little over a month or 2 months ago. So just very bad how things have played out for the Grizzlies. But they're going to play the Warriors in the 7-8 matchup. I'm very much excited about this because what this means is now the Grizzlies, I think the Grizzlies aren't going to win the game. I mean, I do think the Warriors are going to dominate and win this game. But I think it's going to be exciting because both teams are fighting for their supper. It means more for the Grizzlies to win this game than it does the Warriors. The Warriors, they've had drama, with the whole play-in tournament thing the past couple of years, but they're champions. Excluding Jimmy Butler, for the most part, after some of that roster, most part of that roster is still champions. These guys know what it takes. They've been there before. They've done this. So especially Steph, especially Draymond, especially Jonathan Kuminga, So ultimately, and Jimmy Butler has championship experience, of course, but ultimately, I expect the Warriors to win this matchup. The Grizzlies have been in a tailspin all year. I do expect John Morant to have one of his best games ever, but typically Steph does get up for those games. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm very excited to see that. And then the next matchup, which is very exciting. Now, you heard me mention that the Grizzlies play the Mavericks. The opponent they will be playing in the 9-10 matchup in the play-in tournament games tomorrow will be my Sacramento Kings. Now, the reason this is because the Sacramento Kings were able to defeat the Phoenix Suns 109-98. As you can see in some of the shots here, it was pretty much a game the Kings had from the start. They never really were down at any point. The season was over for Phoenix, so no Devin Booker. Kevin Durant obviously was injured. Bradley Beal really didn't play, so there wasn't really anything for the Suns to fight for. They really didn't give a damn about the season, so it came down to the Kings just having to show cause and step up and, defend home court and show pride and win this game to have a chance to make the playoffs. So shout out to Sacramento there. It's been a very, very topsy-turvy season, very disappointing as I've documented on in previous videos for Sacramento, but I'm very much ecstatic that they were able to get to this point to get into the play-in tournament. That's the second year in a row. I do think that you got to, long-term picture, you're going to have to kind of address some major things because you've been in a play-in tournament 2 years in a row and your records were better last year and the year prior compared to this year. So definitely got to figure that out. But nonetheless, the Kings will be playing the Mavericks. I expect the Kings to win this game. The Mavericks have been in a nuclear tailspin since the Luka Doncic trade. Excuse me, let me be more respectful. Since the Kyrie Irving injury and the AD injury, they've been in a nuclear tailspin. But the Luka trade ultimately was the catalyst to all of this. So I definitely expect Sacramento to win this game. Now, that being said, the winner of this game gets the greatest prize of all, which is to go to Oklahoma City and play the Thunder in the first round. So I don't expect Sacramento to beat Oklahoma City in the first round, but it would mean a lot mentally and emotionally for this team to make the playoffs after the season that they've had, after all that they've had to overcome. I do think that it's important. It's very much important for this team to make the playoffs because I do think if you're Sacramento, if you don't make the playoffs this year, you do have to consider what are your options going forward because you can't keep doing the same thing consistently over and over again and expecting different results. That's Einstein's definition of insanity. So Vivek Ranadive, we know he's short-tempered. We know he has a quick trigger. He's allowed Monty McNair a lot of time to build this roster and kind of congeal and get it together to this point at least. Getting off De'Aaron Fox, getting off some other guys, getting Sabonis in a couple years ago. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But interesting how these play-in tournament games are going to be matched up. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Thanks. Tomorrow night. Definitely make sure you guys check this out. Like I said, East is locked and loaded and secured. My dark horse in each conference. Now, looking at the playoff chart, as you guys can see here on the screen, my dark horse in the Eastern Conference, my dark horse, and it's funny, it's kind of disrespectful because they're the number one seed. It would be the Cleveland Cavaliers. I have no faith in the Cavaliers winning the Eastern Conference. I don't. I do think that it's Boston's to lose. But, essentially, if you're talking about true dark horse, yeah, I know it's kind of fucked up to say, but I would say Cleveland because I don't give the Pacers. The Pacers have a chance. The Pacers have a chance, but I don't think that they're going to really do it. And New York, of course, has an opportunity. Pistons, they're too young. They're not there. They're not ready yet. So I would say my dark horse in the East would be the Cavaliers. Now, in the Western Conference, a legitimate dark horse candidate, I would have to say would be the Minnesota Timberwolves. Looking at it as it is now, that's as it's currently constructed. Now, if the Warriors are able to get into the playoffs, I do think that threatens any chance that, because here's what's interesting. The first round, the Lakers play the Timberwolves. I do think the Lakers are going to beat the Timberwolves. However, if for any reason the Timberwolves are able to get past the Lakers, their biggest threat will be the Nuggets or the Warriors. So my dark horse in the Western Conference, as I stated, will be the Minnesota Timberwolves. So we got Timberwolves in the Western Conference, and we got the Cavaliers in the East as far as dark horse candidates. And last but not least, I wanted to end this episode on a very positive note. I wanted to touch on head coach Chauncey Billups, Big Shot Bob, former Detroit Pistons great, NBA Hall of Famer, now a head coach. Has been the head coach for a couple years now, the Portland Trail Blazers. A lot of rough times going on in Portland, having Dame Lillard, but not having a team to really compete or contend or to really put them in a situation to really win. So I want to give this man a shitload of credit. This team was supposed to be an abject failure, a complete, walking dumpster fire. 17 to 25 wins. This team won 30 plus games this year. He had them contending, and rightfully so. He got the extension that he deserved. Guys like this, when you see you got coaches that can elevate talent when you don't really have the plethora of talent on your roster that you are used to expecting to have, you got to make sure that you're taking care of the guys like this. Chauncey Billups has proven that he's a decent coach. I know that he dealt with a lot of turmoil this year, a lot of speculation about where his offseason may end up, where the Blazers season may end up. But guys, we have to have realistic expectations to the coaching. This guy is over coaching or out coached the performance of what you expected. This team is ass. I mean, you got Scoot Henderson, you got guys there, you got Scottie Pippen Jr. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot, but they don't really have everything that they need. Denny Avija, like they got guys there, but nowhere near what they need to really compete. They're still a couple years away, but I like what Chauncey's doing, and I just want to make sure I gave Big Shot Bob his credit, and hopefully more success for him to come in Portland. But that's going to do it for my quick NBA play-in tournament / NBA playoff preview update. Definitely make sure that you plug into the NBA playoffs this year, guys. I think this is going to be a very, very exciting time for the NBA, a very, very captivating time. As always, like, share, subscribe. Take care, and enjoy the rest of your day.